Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the all-new 2025 Ford Expedition. This is a Platinum Max. Huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description below. This Expedition is finished off in a Star White Metallic. It has an MSRP just shy of $87,000. Now this is powered by the 3.5 liter high output EcoBoost V6 paired to the 10-speed automatic. This twin turbo engine pumps out 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. This model also features the four-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 5,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds, and it also has a fuel capacity of 27.8 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and at 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 131.5 inches. Its overall length is 221.7. It has a width of 80 inches, a height of 79.1, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.7 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, this definitely has a fantastic refresh for the Expedition. You'll notice up front, this has LEDs for all of the lighting with the headlights and high beams nicely integrated into that grille. And it also features a light bar that runs in the lower surround from headlight to headlight, just to give it a really cool integration. Now there's also the large Ford logo along with a forward-facing camera and plenty of cutouts in that grille to provide additional cooling. Expedition is also at the top section of the hood, finished off in black to give it a great look. And you'll notice there's cutouts in the lower section, parking sensors too, and more gloss black. Lower air jam there, just to help better improve with aerodynamics. And then some very nice lines coming down the hood, just to give it that truck vibe from Ford. Now, working our way to the side, this has a really nice set of gray wheels along with the red brake calipers. There's also a gloss black for the mirror caps, which also have a camera and a turn signal. And up top, you'll notice the roof rack along with the full moonroof too. As we take a step back, has a really nice design to it. Being the Max, it's going to offer a lot more space, so it is longer than a standard Expedition, but I think it has a great look, especially with the line that runs right above the door handles there all the way to the back. You have large windows too on the sides there, but everything is very proportional. Now in back, there's a body colored spoiler. You get the third brake light along with the wiper blade up underneath. And then this is also equipped with LEDs for all of the lighting. You'll notice Expedition is blacked out. This also has a backup camera, all of the parking sensors. It can also tow 9,000 pounds as well. And then this also features remote start. So let's lock it. We'll double tap this, bring it to life. And you'll notice with the lights on, there's even lights in the liftgate itself, which give it a really cool look. And then you can just double tap on that to shut it off as needed. Now, what's new with the rear end for the Expedition, this actually has a split design for the liftgate. So you can use the key fob or the button up underneath, and the upper section is going to work its way up. From there, you have the lower tailgate. So you don't have to open that if you just have some items you quickly want to grab. But if you want to sit down or you have some larger items, you can lower that and then load in items much easier. Now in back, you do get a little bit of storage underneath the floor there. And then you'll notice that you have 12 volts, auxiliaries, there's even some USB-Cs that you can use, tie-down hooks too, additional storage space, and then you have all the controls to fold down the rear seats. There's also a button for the dome lights, and those are located up on the liftgate themselves, which you can actually adjust. So you can push on those. If you're behind here at night, you can use those spotlights, which is really cool. And then you have all those adjustments, of course, for the back seats. So with the third row, let's just push on 3L. And that is going to fold down. Notice the amount of space that you have with the third row up. So that is very impressive to see. And as we take a step back, look at how much interior storage space there is with all of the seats down. It is crazy to see it for the Max. And then you can also just touch on those buttons once for them to go up and down. So you have a lot of extra space if you need to use it. And then up top, you can just push on one of those two buttons and it will close both of those lift gates. You can either lock the vehicle or just close both of them. Now, as we work our way to the interior, there's proximity door handles. So you can grab all four to unlock the vehicle, where this model has a really nice interior with all of the leather. You'll notice the release handle and the grab handle are nicely integrated there. There's a Bang & Olufsen for the audio. You also have a lot more storage in that lower section. And then with the second row here, you have captain's chairs with some really nice bolster support to them. Now you also have the control here to recline and incline. You can also walk around. If you want to get into the third row, you can move these seats by pulling the bar up underneath. or just push on this button right here, and it's going to pop this seat up, and you can slide it forwards there, and with the power side step, that makes it much easier to jump into the back, where you have 3 seats back here, which is pretty impressive to see. It looks like you have the adjustments to recline the seats too. You have cup holder storage, lots of storage there with some auxiliaries, the large windows too. And then at 5'10", I still have 1.5 inches or so of headroom, so I could ride around town and be very comfortable in the back seat. Maybe have 2 other people with me back here, so it's functional, as you would expect for such a large vehicle. From there, you can just lock the seat into place, and then we'll grab that bar up underneath and slide this seat back. Now you'll notice up front, way up underneath, you have some auxiliaries there so you can charge electronics. You get 2 storage pockets behind both front seats. And then right in the middle, you have an area you could place your phone or some smaller items along with your drinks. You also have all the climate adjustments and heated seat controls. And there's an auxiliary located down below here. And then at 5'10", I have plenty of space, and you can recline these seats, of course, if you need more space. And you have adjustable armrests, which are actually very wide, about 3 inches or so wide. So definitely makes it a lot more comfortable. So either way, second and third row seating is going to be extremely spacious. Now you'll notice too, this also has the keypad, so you can use that as needed. And then for the front, everything is about the same as the rear. There's also ambient lighting too, all of your window controls, side mirror adjustments, and a lot more storage. And then you have the same design with the seats with platinum in that upper section there. And as we hop into the interior, we have a much different look for this latest model. So let's start this up and talk about this steering wheel, where it has almost an ovalish shape to it. And you'll notice that there's controls on both sides, but there's no labels on them. That's because they are touch sensitive. When you start to swipe on them, you'll look at the gauge cluster now to see what that control is for. So currently on the right side, we have tuning along with volume. You can see voice commands and then adjustments. When you go into adjustments, this is how you can get into your steering wheel adjustment. So now I can raise and lower it by using those. And then we can go back to the pedal adjustment. So you can bring those in and out. Very interesting to see, but it's also very user intuitive too. This is my first time being behind the wheel. On this left side, we have cruise control and lane keeping assist. And here's the rest of the gauge cluster. So you have your fuel on that far left side, speed limit sign in the middle, you have your radio, what gear the vehicle is in, and then we have some more information on that right side. Now this also gets cameras in the gauge cluster. So by putting on your turn signal, that will give you a little bit more better visibility. If you're merging, you just need some extra visibility. Really nice technology features to see. Now on the left side of the steering wheel, there's your e-brake. There's also 2 different ways you can open the rear liftgate. You can just do the upper section or both at the same time. You have your 4-wheel drive selectors along with the driving modes. So those will pop up on the left side of that gauge cluster. So you can go through all of these just depending on the type of driving that you need to do for the day. You have quite a lot that you can monitor. There's also some leather on the dash, really neat material on that upper section there. And then with the giant infotainment system, you have a lot that you can get into. So on your home screen, you can monitor this split view here. You can also get into vehicle, where you have your auto hold, your driver memory, so the memory seating adjustments that you can configure. This is how you can also get into all of your lighting. So you have your headlights that you can adjust. There's also interior lighting, and you have zone lighting. You can power on all of the exterior lighting. So if you're using this at night, you can have basically all of that lighting for you. You have valet mode, different settings that you can get into, along with adjusting your climates. And you have more liftgate controls. If you push on the 6 circles, you can get into all of these icons here, where you have quite a lot, just depending on what you need to see. And then the last one is going to get into these widgets here, where you can go through a few more, just depending on what you need. Now in the lower section, this is all fixed. So you have your temperatures, fan speed, auto, where you'd like the air to go, along with AC, and you can get into the heated and ventilated seats, along with the heated steering wheel too. Now underneath that, you'll notice there's plus and minus for your gearing, so you can shift using those. If we twist that dial to put it into reverse, you get the backup camera here, where you can also look at several different angles. You even have some tire marks there, so that we can see where the vehicle is actually being placed. And then you can push on this here and pull up a few more angles along with the sensors there. Drive is going to be all the way to the right, of course. You have the manual setting, and then park is back to the left. Now next to that you have volume for your audio. There's also engine start stop, parallel parking. You have your hazards, a shortcut to the camera system. There's traction control and a downhill assist control too. You'll notice Expedition underneath that. There's also the trailer braking system. And then you have a lot of storage space located underneath. If we move back, now we have cup holders along with wireless charging, some auxiliaries, and your Pro trailer system. So you can use that as needed and you can hide these away. Now what's interesting with the entire center console is that you can actually move it. So if I push on this button, we can bring that all the way up. You could hide some items underneath that if you want, and it gives you a little bit more space for your passengers in the back and better access if you need to reach back here. From there, we can open up by using the release on both sides where you have a lot of space and an auxiliary. So you can just use these here. And then on the passenger side, you get plenty of space in the glove box. You have your rear view mirror. There's also a sunglass holder up top, and then you have dome lights and controls for the full sunshade and sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility. It is a large vehicle, but as you saw from the outside, you have a lot of glass. So you can easily see over both shoulders. As we set up behind the wheel now for the latest model for the Ford Expedition, this is a really cool interior and layout. I like the exterior styling too, but I didn't see anything online before I hopped into this. So it was a surprise to me to see what this new design is like. Steering wheel takes a little bit of time to get used to, but honestly, it's not really all that bad. It gives it a smaller feel. I feel like a lot of larger SUVs today are getting larger and larger steering wheels. So I'm kind of digging this style. It's pretty easy to hold on both sides here, just depending on how you like to drive. Gives it a little bit smaller, almost like a go-kart feel for the steering wheel, but I think that's pretty nice. And then you have the dual screen setup here, which is separated and integrated very nicely. I think they did a great job with being able to see all of the information. There's no head-up display for this model. I'm not sure if that's an option or not, but you have pretty much your head-up display right here rather than having it through the windshield like that system normally is. But this is a great vehicle. I remember growing up, my parents had a Ford Explorer and they had a Ford Expedition, light years ahead of what we had growing up. This is definitely a huge step up from the one that I remember. But if you're looking for a big vehicle, this seems to be something of a contender to check out. You have so much space with the Max. That is what, of course, you are looking to get. You can put in 7 people and all of their cargo space in that back area there and not even have an issue, and you can hook up some trailers to this as needed. Now, with its extra length, it is a big vehicle, of course, but if you're buying this, you'll get used to driving it, maneuvering it, parking it, things like that. I don't drive big SUVs like this all that often, but for first impressions, it's not bad at all. It's definitely a big vehicle, but I think it's manageable at the same time to be able to drive too. And for the short drive that I'm doing, obviously with having one years ago, it's going to drive very smooth. It's going to be very comfortable as well, and pretty much give you a luxury vibe with this model. And as far as power goes, we're just in a normal setting. Its 0 to 60 time under 5 seconds is impressive for the weight of this. So this is a quick vehicle for its sizing. You don't have to worry about it being underpowered by any means. And you have those different driving modes just depending on the situations that you are doing for the day. So if you're looking for basically a people hauler, you're not looking to get a minivan or anything like that, you want something a little bit larger here, a little bit more capable, this is a cool option to go with. I'm really digging the latest model for this Expedition. Even bumps like that seems to be a really good handling vehicle. Now you will feel maybe a little bit of the body roll as it's a tall vehicle too. And then here's a look at its turning radius, where we'll just do another circle here. This is honestly pretty tight. This is a pretty maneuverable vehicle for how big it is. And you just got to get used to the shape of that steering wheel there. So let's put it into the manual setting now, and we can shift using plus and minus here. Here we go from second gear. Not all that bad for the responsiveness of it, using the plus and minus there, but of course you would use those for towing situations, maybe some slower speeds, just if you need to hold a gear. So you're really not going to use those on a daily basis, but they are there if you need to use them. So here's what it's like to be behind the wheel for the new Expedition. You can get another look at the funky design for the steering wheel, but I think it's really good too. Hiding some of those controls, I've seen that done in Lexus models where you just hover it and see it on the screen there. Definitely keeps your eyes more focused ahead of you once you learn, where the pads are. Basically like a mouse on a computer, you just learn the trackpad of it basically, and you can look at everything while still keeping your eyes facing forward. I think that's a really cool design, so you don't have to stare down here and figure it out. And then in terms of its maneuverability again, let's see what we can do with this tight spot here. I think we'll have to back up, but even if you do have to back up, you have so many different camera angles to really help and aid you in maneuvering this vehicle. Seats are also very comfortable too. At 5'10", I have maybe 3 or 4 inches of headroom. We have a height adjustment for the seat too. So if you are taller than me, you could be a little bit taller than me and still fit comfortably in here. But a really nice position. You'll be comfortable no matter which of the 7 seats that you are riding in for the day. And I think Ford did a really good job. You have a lot of creature comforts for this model and a lot of different trim levels. You can go with a normal Expedition or the Max, and then several trim levels for both of those, depending on your budget and the tech features and everything you were looking to go with. But that is going to wrap it up for the latest generation Ford Expedition Platinum Max. Once again, huge shout out to Mooresville Ford for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoy it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.